Thank you very much. I'd like to ask our City Attorney Galante to report out of closed session.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, members of the council and audience.
You're not on, Fred.
No? Okay, here we
Okay.
go. Is it on now?
Yes.
Thank you. The city council met in closed session and discussed the two items listed on the closed session agenda, beginning with item A, conference with legal counsel existing litigation, the case entitled Taylor versus City of Chino. City council received an update to the status of that case, provided direction, and no further reportable action was taken. Item B, conference with real property negotiator. City council received an update on the potential acquisition price and terms related to the property at 13339 and 13339 Central Avenue and 13399 Central Avenue, as further identified by the various APN numbers listed on the agenda, with the negotiating party being Johnson 1990 Revocable Trust, care of Brett K. Johnson, trustee. City Council received that update, provided direction, and no further reportable action was taken. That concludes the report out of closed session, Madam Mayor.
Okay, thank you very much. For the public's information, Councilman Rodriguez is with us, but he's on a telephone call. Mr. Ballantyne, are there any additions or revisions to the agenda?
Yes, Mayor. I want to point out or clarify for item number 11 on the agenda, which is on the consent calendar. This item is related to the traffic signal modification for projects TR 161 and TR 171. Staff would like to just simply reject all the bids, but we're going to strike the second recommendation as it relates to request for approval for plan specifications and authorize advertising of bids for project TR 171. So we're just rejecting the bids for item number 11.
Okay, do we need to pull and have separate action?
No.
No, okay. All right, thank you very much. Okay, next on the agenda is public announcements. First, in light of canceling some of our most anticipated events, the City of Chino is committed to ensuring that you have resources to stay entertained, active, healthy, and informed. To do this, our Community Services Department has offered a virtual recreation page on the city's website at www.cityofchino.org, where all visitors can virtually enjoy a variety of activities that include camping, story time, arts and crafts, physical activities, as well as learning opportunities. Linda, I have to tell you, I'm challenging to show me how you camp virtually. Registration may be required, and we encourage everyone that has questions about enjoying these virtual activities to please call the Community Services Department at 909-334-3258. Also, I want to remind everyone that we will be canceling the City Council meetings in August, with our next regularly scheduled meeting occurring in September the 1st, 2020. For all questions, please call the Administration Department at 909-334-3304. And lastly, sadly, we will be adjourning tonight's meeting in memory of Pamela Dillar and Enrique Roman Martinez. To begin, Pamela passed away peacefully at her home in Lake Havasu City on July 8, 2020. Born in Long Beach in 1950, Pamela grew up in Lakewood, California, but lived in Chino with her husband, John Dillar, for 45 years until they recently moved to Lake Havasu City. Pamela held positions with If you're not speaking, please mute your phone. Pamela held positions with Household International and the IRS, serving as a revenue officer, as well as a fraud technician advisor. After 25 years of service with the IRS, Pam retired from the IRS and volunteered for the Chino Police Department in the city of Chino. Her hard work in locating missing persons helped in closing dozens of closed files. Pamela received many awards from the city, county, and state representatives for her exceptional work. She was the City of Chino's representative at the Los Angeles County Fair in 2016. Pamela is survived by her family, her husband, John, her brother, Kim, and his wife, Beverly, and many nieces and nephews. She's preceded in death by her parents, Guy and Patricia. She will be deeply missed. Also, we will be adjourning in memory of 82nd Airborne Division paratrooper, Army Specialist Enrique Roman Martinez, whose life was tragically cut short in North Carolina, where he was stationed at Fort Bragg. Enrique grew up in Chino and attended Newman Elementary School, Ramona Junior High, as well as Don Lugo and Buena Vista High School before making the decision to serve his country. As there is still uncertainty regarding this tragic circumstance, our heart goes out to the family of Enrique during this incredibly difficult time and pray for closure as investigations proceed. Next on the agenda is public comment. This is the time and the place for the general public to address City Council about subjects that do not appear elsewhere on the agenda. Due to council policy and Brown Act requirements, action will not be taken on any issues not on the agenda. Ordinance number 97-08, Chino Municipal Code Section 2.04-090, limits speakers to no more than 5 minutes in which to address the council, except as provided under Government Code 54954.3B2. I'd like to call up Mr. David Bustamante from the Calvary Chapel, Chino Valley, and at this time I'd like to invite anyone who wishes to join us in an invocation to please stand.
Mayor Loa, members of the council and staff, thank you for the opportunity and the privilege that it is to lead tonight's invocation. Would you please join me in a word of prayer? Father God, we come before you this evening to ask that you would strengthen, that you would guide and protect our council members and their staffs. Be with them and give them wisdom as we have entrusted them to make important decisions that impact the lives of so many members of this community. As we're living in a very difficult time, it would be easy to feel overwhelmed by the many circumstances that are taking place, including not the least of which is the pandemic. But your word says that we're to be anxious for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, that we would let our requests be made known to you, and that your peace, the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard our hearts and minds through Christ Jesus. And Lord, you've blessed this city with good leaders and good citizens, and we thank you for that. Bless them and keep them safe, keep them healthy to do good for our communities. We lift these requests to you, knowing that you hear our prayers and are forever faithful, Father, and we ask these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you, David. Okay, we have a couple of requests to speak. The first being Zeb Wellborn from the Chino Valley Chamber. Zeb?
Good evening. I just kind of wanted to give an update on some of the businesses in Chino and some of the challenges they're facing and some of the ways that other businesses are stepping up to help those that are facing challenges. One of the things that we've been doing like a video project where we interview businesses about things that are affecting their business and things that we think that we should tell their story. R&R Breakfast Spot is a restaurant that is here in Chino. They opened up their doors about a month before the pandemic hit. So they had a big grand opening a month before, and then so they immediately had to shut down their business. During that time, her father was contracted the coronavirus and died from it. Her husband was an essential worker. He got it, and so they were living together, so they had to quarantine each other in the same house. And she's still out there trying to run her business by doing takeout and delivery services at R&R Breakfast Spot. So you just really feel for businesses like that are facing those real challenges. So we just wanted to shoot a video with her talking about her experience, all the things that she's been going through in that scenario. And as a result of that video, we had other businesses that saw it and wanted to step up to do something to try and help out her situation. And so TransTech Engineers is an example of one of those businesses. Chaffey College is an example of one of those organizations where they ended up doing catering services through R&R Breakfast Spots. They took the food, and I know that TransTech delivered it to the Chino Police Department for lunch one of the days. So that's one of the things that I really want to highlight, that our businesses are stepping up, trying to help out other businesses in our community. And I think I just want to say thank you for those businesses that are doing things like that. We have a lot of businesses that are doing that. That's just one of those examples of something that the challenges that businesses are facing, while also opportunities that other people are trying to help out businesses in our community. With that, we're also starting a restaurant month. So you guys are familiar with our Taste of the Chino Valley. Obviously, that's not something that's probably going to happen this year. So we still wanted to do something to support our restaurants. So we came up with what we came up with is Restaurant Month. Currently, I think we have about 20 restaurants signed up to participate in it. And essentially what we're encouraging our community to go visit these restaurants throughout the month of August, do business with them, and then we're going to be giving out gift cards that we've purchased from those restaurants as prizes for people who go and visit these restaurants. So for those of you that are watching and you want to be able to support local restaurants, it's a great opportunity to do that. We'll be posting in the Champion newspapers. We're also posting it on our website and Facebook pages tomorrow. So it'll be up there starting tomorrow so you can see what that is all about. And really, it's just a way to support our restaurants that are facing so many challenges right now, and that a lot of these folks really do give back to their community too, so it would be great if we could support them as well. I also want to talk about, we have a couple of weeks ago, we put together a webinar titled The Two Pandemics. You know, the county of San Bernardino labeled systemic racism as a pandemic, and then obviously we're dealing with the coronavirus. So we wanted to have a discussion, like an open dialogue with panelists. So we had, County Supervisor Kurt Hagman, we had Chino Chief of Police Wes Simmons, and we had a panelist of several others who came on and just had an open dialogue about those two topics and discussions. And we're doing it again this Thursday. So we're going to have a new round of panelists that are kind of discussing those two topics and those two issues. So that will be on Thursday from 11:30 to 1. So I encourage those of you that are interested in those two things, whether you want to support restaurants and get some nice food along the way, to participate in our restaurant month during the month of August, or if you're interested in joining in that dialogue on the two pandemics that we talked about, that will be on Thursday.
That's this Thursday, Webb?
This Thursday
Seven?
from 11:30 to 1. It will
Okay.
be held via Zoom. So the information it'll be on our website and sent out through our emails and posted on our Facebook page. But it is already on our Facebook page.
Okay.
And that's it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, we have a presentation from the Chino Police Department. I'd like to call up Mr. Ted Olden. Sergeant Ted Olden. Sir. Yes, no.
Good evening, Mayor and members of the council. Just want to take, on behalf of the men and women of the Chino Police Department, want to take this opportunity to say thank you for your commitment to our community, your leadership to the police department. And as a token of our appreciation, we have some plaques that we would like to present each of you. It's a Russ Miller plaque commemorating his 20-year anniversary, the 20-year anniversary of his death. So we have each one of these for each of you.
Well, thank you
And,
very much. Thank you
Now
very
we also have one
much.
for you. And that's all I had.
Thank
Thank you
Ted.
again.
Russ Miller was a wonderful, wonderful man. Thank you very much. Oh, that's nice. It's very nice. Okay. Let's see what else we have. Okay. Saul Guerrera? Saul, are you here? Yes, ma'am. She's a rep for Norma Torres.
Good evening, Mayor and Council, City Manager, and staff. I'm here on behalf of Congresswoman Norma Torres due to the unfortunate loss that Chino is facing, and to send my deepest condolences to the Martinez family. Excuse me. We were fortunate enough to meet with the family last week and hear firsthand of their encounter and what they've been facing, and it's just heartbreaking. And just looking at them today, it's hard to get my words out. But I want to extend, again, a deepest condolences from her, and that we will be doing everything we can to bring justice to your brother. I'd like to also thank you, Mayor, and the council, and for your leadership, along with City Manager and Chief Simmons and Sergeant Olden for just helping our office and shed light onto not only their story, but to bring honor to their family. They have not been able to rest his soul, and so by putting together a vigil on the family's behalf goes miles. And however we can be of assistance to the city of Chino and to the family, please don't hesitate to reach out. And thank you again for letting me speak.
You're welcome, and thank you very much. It is a tragic, tragic loss. Okay. Courtney Garcia, Chino American Little League, in regards to fields 5 and 6. Oh, I'm sorry. You wanted to speak on 24, item 24, okay.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Sorry about that. Okay, those were the written requests to speak. Is there anyone else in the audience that would like to address the council on anything that's not on the agenda? Okay, seeing no one come up. Angela, do we have any members of the public that have submitted electronic comments? Or Jack?
No, Mayor, we have no members that have submitted electronic comments or wish to speak via the webinar.
Okay. All right, then we will move on to our consent calendar. We'll take all of these items in one motion unless a council member or any member of the audience wishes to have any item pulled. Does anyone wish to have an item pulled? No?
Yeah, I asked for item 17.
Item 17 is going to be pulled, okay? Then I would entertain a motion for the balance of the consent calendar.
Mayor, we'll do a voice roll call because we have Councilmember Rodriguez on the teleconference.
Right, okay, then if you would verbally announce whether you're making a motion or a second, please.
It's also moved. Second.
Okay, a motion from Councilman Hargrove, second from Mayor Pro Tem Howie, and roll call vote, please.
Yes.
Councilmember Hargrove, yes, thank you. Mayor Pro Tem Howie,
Yes.
Councilmember Lucio,
Yes.
Councilmember Rodriguez,
Yes.
Mayor Ulloa.
Yes. The balance of the consent calendar passes unanimously. Item number 17 is parking restrictions on Euclid Avenue. This item is to adopt Resolution 2020-048 to implement parking restrictions on Euclid Avenue, which is also State Route 83, from Eucalyptus Avenue to Merrill Avenue, and to modify existing parking restrictions to stopping restrictions along Euclid Avenue in the city of Chino. Staff report this evening.
Thank you, Mayor. Chris Magdosku, City Engineer, and City Council, welcome. This item came before the Engineering Division earlier in the year as a result of Councilmember Lucio's attendance at a College Park HOA meeting in which residents that lived in the College Park development were complaining about the idling of trucks and other vehicles along the west side of Euclid along the College Park frontage, where there are no current parking restrictions now. As a result of that meeting, the request came in. We took it to TAC earlier in the year. We supported the implementation of signage that includes no stopping, which is different than no parking. So we worked with PD on that effort as well as Caltrans, so we appreciate that coming from the HOA through you, council member. While we were doing that, we looked at the whole corridor and found inconsistencies in the parking restrictions on the east side of Euclid Avenue, which they have no stopping. So we thought we'd no parking. We'd have the whole corridor all as one, no stopping anytime. In a lot of jurisdictions, PD has the discretion of citing someone who parks in a no parking zone or stopping zone. It's different because a stopping zone means literally no stopping, so it's a lot more of a efficient way of enforcement, and it does send the message out, do not stop along the frontage. So that is why this came before you tonight. Usually we would just put the signs up, but Caltrans requirement through the vehicle code requires a resolution. So that's why it came before you tonight as a formal approval.
Okay. Mark, did you have questions or comments?
No, I just have comments. First of all, I just wanted to thank Ted for going out there and talking to the residents as well, and then going out there and observing all the vehicles that were parked out there. Thanks to city staff for moving on this. I know that the highway is technically belongs to Caltrans and it's policed by CHP, but I appreciate that you continue to move forward and didn't just say, well, it's not our issue. You actually continued on. And it was a problem that has been on the Nextdoor app that they continue to complain about, the emissions that go on all night, that they leave the trucks running because they're sleeping in the trucks. And I really, really just want to reach out and just say thank you for taking care of that. That's an issue that's been plaguing everybody that lives along Euclid Avenue, and I really appreciate you guys handling that for us.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
We're pleased to do it.
Okay, then with that, I will entertain a motion in a second.
I'll move it. I'll second it.
Motion from Councilman Lucio, second from Mayor Pro Tem Howie. Roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Lucio,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Howie,
Yes.
Councilmember Hargrove,
Yes.
Councilmember Rodriguez,
Yes.
Mayor Ulloa.
Yes. Item passes unanimously. Next on the agenda is public hearings. Prior to the vote of the council, any member of the audience will have the opportunity to address the council on any items listed under public hearings. Council requests, but it's not required that you state your name and address prior to making any remarks. Item number 20, Landscape and Streetlight Maintenance District Assessment for fiscal year 2020-2021. This item is to conduct a public hearing and adopt resolution number 2020-049, directing the city clerk to file a certified copy of the diagram and assessments with the county auditor, county controller. I'd like to declare the public hearing open and ask for a staff report from Dave McAbee, who is our Public Works Service Manager.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor and members of the City Council. The city has formed 6 landscape and streetlight maintenance assessment districts under authority of the Landscaping and Lighting Act of 1972 of the California Streets and Highways Code. The districts are as follows: 75-1, 75-2, 76-1, 76-2, 83-2, and 2002-1. Each year, the City Council reviews these districts and holds a public hearing to set the assessment rates. Of the 6 districts, only District 2002-1 has a consumer price index escalator that allows the city to adjust the assessment rates. For fiscal year 2020-21, the CPI is 3.03%, which results in a slight increase for District 2002-1. As listed in Exhibit 1 of the report, there are certain zones in the other 5 districts that have an increase of approximately 5% or less because these zones have not been assessed their maximum allowable rates since they were annexed, helping to reduce the subsidy. At the June 16th, 2020 council meeting, the City Council adopted 3 resolutions, which consisted of the following: direct staff to file the annual report, approve the engineer's report, declare intention to order improvements for the 6 assessment districts, and schedule a public hearing. A public hearing is required as part of the process to levy the annual assessments and provide the opportunity for all interested persons to comment on this matter. Therefore, staff recommends conducting the public hearing, adopting resolution number 2020-049, confirming the assessments, and directing the city clerk to file a certified copy of the diagram and assessments with the county auditor controller. That concludes my report, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, Dave. Do any members of the council have questions of staff? Mr. Rodriguez, do you have any questions?
No, I don't.
Okay, I'd like to invite the public to speak on this item. We have no written request to speak. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to talk to the council about this item? Okay, seeing none, then we will close the public hearing. Oops, wait. Angela, do we have any written requests to speak or emailed?
No, Mayor, we do not.
Okay, then we'll close the public hearing. Any council last-minute comments? Okay, seeing none, then I would entertain a motion in a second.
I'll make a motion.
Motion from Mayor Pro Tem Howe.
Second.
Second from Councilman Lucio. Please vote by roll call, please.
Mayor Pro Tem Howie,
Yes.
Councilmember Lucio,
Yes.
Councilmember Hargrove,
Yes.
Councilmember Rodriguez,
Yes.
Mayor Ulloa.
Yes. Item passes unanimously. Next, under new business, item number 21, sewer and trash rate adjustments. This is consideration of a delay in the implementation of the approved adjustments for rates, fees, and charges for sewer and trash services to November 1st, 2020. Staff report this evening will be provided by our billing manager, Nikki Love.
Good evening, Mayor and members of the City Council. On July 7th, 2020, City Council held a public hearing and approved the Proposition 218 process and the subsequent rate increases, with the exceptions that the rates would not become effective until analysis of the financial impact of a 4-month delay was reviewed by the Finance Department. The rate adjustments include increases for trash, recycling, and sewer services, and are very specific to only certain classes of customers. Delaying the implementation of the approved rate increases until November 1st, 2020, will result in a loss of revenue in the amount of $21,665 for the sanitation fund, for which there are sufficient reserves. However, using these reserves causes one customer to subsidize the other. The revenue loss for the sewer lift station fund is $13,776. This will leave just $800 of reserves. If an unanticipated expense arises, there will not be sufficient funds available. Staff recognizes that increasing rates during times of an economic hardship can be impactful to our residential and commercial customers. However, most of the residential customers in the city will not be impacted by this particular rate increase. Businesses will be impacted based on their needs of service, which may vary, and the businesses also have the control of adjusting or suspending their services due to the current circumstances. Waste management will continue to work with businesses to accommodate their needs at this time. It is staff's recommendation that the rate changes be implemented effective July 22nd, 2020. This concludes my report, and I would be happy to answer any questions.
Okay, prior to council comments, I'd like to ask if there are any comments from the public on this item. Okay, seeing none, then we'll move to council discussion. Council members? Do what? I did. Oh, Angela, there's
No, Mayor, we have
request?
no written comments or people who would like to speak via the webinar.
Okay, all right. Okay. Council comments? What is your desire? Councilman Rodriguez, do you have any comments?
No.
No comments.
So if we make a motion, that would be to start the rates on July 22nd. Tomorrow. As of tomorrow.
As of tomorrow, yes.
Well, I'll make a motion to do that.
Okay, there's a motion to implement the rates as of tomorrow. Is there a second?
I'll second.
There's a second from Councilman Lucio. Okay, roll call vote, please.
Mayor Pro Tem Howie,
Yes.
Councilmember Lucio,
Yes.
Councilmember Hargrove,
Yes.
Councilmember Rodriguez,
Yes.
Mayor Ulloa.
Yes. Item passes unanimously. Okay, moving on. Item number 22, award of construction contract project SN 161, alley reconstruction project, South Riverside Drive. This is to award a construction contract for project SN 161, alley reconstruction project, and authorize expenditures for project contingencies, construction engineering costs, including geotechnical services, project construction management cost, and inspection costs. Our project manager, Karen Campbell, will provide a staff report this evening.
Good evening, Madam Mayor and council members. Project SN 191 consists of alley reconstruction of 15 alley segments south of Riverside Drive between Central Avenue and Benson Avenue, which includes removal and reconstruction of asphalt pavement, construction of concrete V-gutters, adjusting of existing utility boxes, manholes, reconstruction of accessible pedestrian crossings, and replacement of a water line. The plans were designed by Tate and Associates. On June 16, 2020, City Council approved the plans and specifications and authorized a notice to bidders be published. The project plans and specifications were advertised on Planet Bids and advertised in the Chino Champion newspaper. On July 9, 2020, at 10 a.m., 8 bids were received. Gentry Brothers Incorporated of Irwindale, California, is properly licensed and is deemed to be the lowest responsible and responsive bidder with a total bid in the amount of $1,816,952.85. In addition, staff is requesting authorization to spend up to $181,700 for project contingencies, $30,000 for construction and engineering services, $91,000 for project and construction management costs, and $91,000 for inspection costs. This brings a total potential project construction cost to $2,210,652.85. This concludes my presentation, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Karen, I do have a question before I ask for input, and that is the staff report calls out $2,328,352.85.
That is the table including plans and specifications. So the design costs are what's previously paid, so the actual construction cost is at $2,210,652.85. It's kind of a running tabulation of costs that we spent on the project so far.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, would anyone like to address the council on this item? Yes, Debbie.
Thank you, Mayor. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I just want to clarify that there are no pedestrian crossings on this project. They are all pedestrian throughways. Every one of those alleys is a throughway, not a pedestrian crossing.
Okay,
Affects the accessibility requirements. Thank you.
thank you very much. Anyone else would like to address the council on this item? Okay, seeing none, then I'll ask for council input. Tom?
Yeah, I looked at this and I thought, wow, that's a lot of money for alley reconstruction. But then I want to hats off to the staff to think about the infrastructure, the sewer water lines underneath there that are so old and they need to be done. So it was better to not just pave this and then go back later and fix all that stuff. It's good that we're redoing infrastructure along with the alley paving and everything. So hats off to the staff for that. I just want to say that because that's an important factor. Our infrastructure in the city, in the older parts of the city, is pretty old, and going to need a lot of repair and installation of new service there in the coming years. And it's good to see us jumping out and taking care of this.
Absolutely. Mark?
I just want to say again, thanks to the staff for addressing some of those alleys. Really need a lot of work, and a lot of those areas there need a lot of work. So I appreciate you focusing on that, because a lot of times, a lot of our older neighborhoods feel that they're a little neglected. So I'm really pleased that we're moving forward and doing some construction there.
Yeah, you walked a few of those alleys, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah, they're in pretty bad shape. Well, and we are very fortunate that we have been putting money aside for these projects as well. So we're in a very enviable position that we are able to do this. And there was a challenge thrown out to the Director of Public Works to get this work done, and Amr has certainly risen to the occasion. Mark, do you have any comments?
Oh, he's at home resting now for all that work.
Yeah. Paul Rodriguez, do you have any comments?
No, it's good work.
Okay. Angela, do we have any requests to speak from the public?
No, Mayor, we do not.
Okay. Any further comments from council?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, motion from Mayor Pro Tem Howie. Second from Councilman Lucio. Roll call vote, please.
Mayor Pro Tem Howie,
Yes.
Councilmember Lucio,
Yes.
Councilmember Hargrove,
Yes.
Councilmember Rodriguez,
Yes.
Mayor Ulloa.
Yes. Item passes unanimously. Item number 23, a contract amendment, RHA Landscape Architects and Planners Incorporated. This is to approve a contract amendment to RHA Landscape Architects and Planners Incorporated, Riverside, California, in the amount of $397,290 for landscape architectural services for Ayala Park Improvements Project 1B, City Hall Improvements Project, and Senior Center and Library Improvements Project Phase 2. Staff report this evening will be provided by our Assistant Project Coordinator, Keith Martinez.
Good evening, Madam Mayor and members of the council. In January 2020, the city awarded a contract for on-call landscape architectural services for designing and construction capital improvement projects to RHA and MIG. Staff received competitive proposals on 3 separate projects from both firms: Ayala Park completion of Park Improvements Phase 1, City Hall Improvements Project, and Senior Center and Library Improvements Project. RHA was selected for these projects based on their past performances, project team, work plan, and costs to complete these design services. The project scope of work for these projects will include improvements based on the accessibility surveys conducted in 2017, 2019, and 2020. These improvements include exterior improvements to the existing parking lots, sidewalks, walkways, entryways, curb ramps, stairways, crosswalks, on-street accessible parking, public transportation access, landscape, and irrigation. All work will comply with the Americans with Disabilities Act standards. Staff received proposals for these projects from RHA in the amount of $397,290 for the proposed work. The current contract amount awarded to RHA is $535,245, bringing the total contract amount to $932,535. Staff is requesting City Council approval for the contract amendment in the amount of $397,290. The City Attorney's Office has reviewed all of the documents and found them to be in order. This concludes my report. I would be happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Keith. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to address the council on this item? Okay, seeing none. Angela, do we have any input from the public?
No, we do not, Mayor.
Nothing. Okay. Any council comments? Okay, then I would entertain a motion.
Well, I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Motion from Councilman Lucio, second from Councilman Hargrove. Roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Lucio,
Yes.
Councilmember Hargrove,
Yes.
Councilmember Rodriguez,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Howie,
Yes.
Mayor Ulloa.
Yes. Item passes unanimously. Item number 24, award of contract Ayala Park Improvements Project, baseball fields 5 and 6. This item is to award a contract in the amount of $1,017,972 to Micron Construction Incorporated, Placentia, California, for the project for Ayala Park Improvement Project Phase 2, PK 181. Our project manager, Carolyn Baltzer, will be providing our staff report this evening.
Good evening, Madam Mayor and members of the council. The current fiscal year budget provides funding for the Ayala Park Improvements Project, baseball fields 5 and 6. The project will consist of the demolition and removal of the existing dugouts, fencing, hardscape seating area, irrigation, turf, and repair work to the existing storm drain located under home plate on baseball field 6. Improvements will also include installation of covered dugouts and bullpens, construction of a batting cage for baseball field 5, new baseline and backstop fencing, dugout seating, scorekeeper boxes, bleachers, flagpole, hardscape, a T-ball practice field on baseball field 6, and accessibility improvements. In addition, the installation of a recognition plaque for Mayo Briones will be installed on baseball field number 5. New sports field lighting will be provided to the city through a grant received by the Chino American Little League. The installation of lights on baseball field 5 is included in the scope of work. A notice inviting bids was published in the Chino Champion and on Planet Bids. On June 30th, 2020, 11 bids were accepted electronically. The lowest bid submitted was Micron Construction Incorporated of Placentia, California, in the amount of $1,017,972. Staff reviewed the contractor's licenses, bonds, and references and have determined them to be the lowest responsive and responsible bidder. At this time, staff is requesting City Council approval to award a contract to Micon Construction in the amount of $1,017,972 for the Ayala Park Project Improvements Project Baseball Fields 5 and 6, and authorize expenditures of up to $101,797 for project contingencies. The city attorney's office has reviewed all the documents and found them to be in order. This concludes my report, and I'll be happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Carolyn. We have a written request from Courtney Garcia.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council members. I'm Courtney Garcia, and I'm the president for Chino American Little League. And on behalf of our Little League, we would like to say thank you for everything that you guys have done for us. About 4 years ago, we had nowhere to play. And you guys have worked very hard in giving us two fields to play on, and also now a t-ball field to play on. And we just want to say thank you very much for everything that you guys have done for us.
Well, you're welcome.
Thank you.
It's appreciated by us as well.
Thank you.
Everything that you do for the kids is very appreciated.
Oh, always will do it for the kids.
Of course. Is there anyone else in the audience that would like to address? Yes, gentleman in the back.
Hi.
Hi.
I just wanted to say that I think it's really important that we do help the baseball fields, but I think that we shouldn't install bleachers, and instead we should keep the stair sets out they were for the past few decades, because they've been skated by many skaters. And like you said, it's what's important for the children. I believe that, they should get new dugouts. They should get new stuff. I used to be a baseball player. I used to play there. I thought it was really important that they get new stuff too. But I think, there's a huge skating community in Chino, and that we need to look out for them too. Because the reason that we have that skate park that it was established in 2005 is because those stair sets were originally skated from about 2002. But I know that they haven't become any less skated since then, and they've only just become even more, and they're just even a bigger spot. So
Well, I appreciate your input.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Is there anyone else in the audience? Yes, Stubby.
Thank you. I would just like to thank that young gentleman for his comments. I'm going to send to all of you a copy of a slide collection that I have that dates from the 1990s to around 2004, when the skate park became popular. Ayala Park was the place to go for freestyle skateboarding until the skate park opened. And I have some absolutely fantastic cover shots from a lot of skaters magazines that I think you'll all appreciate and should be part of Chino's history. The kids that skate at Ayala Park are exemplary children. Never cause problems, always help me if I have an issue when I'm out there, and I've never seen any serious problems. They're children, some of them, but they are an important part of our community. And that skate park has become a Southern California destination park.
Yeah.
So we should be proud of that. Thank you.
Thank you. And Linda, maybe that is something that we can look at. I mean, we do need the bleachers and we do need these improvements, but maybe there is something else that we can construct that would be along with the skate park that would replace some of these steps that the kids enjoy playing on. Okay, is there anyone else in the audience that would like to address this item or address the council on this item? Okay, seeing none, council comments.
Yes, I just want to say we've come a long way. My kids originally started playing Chino American over at Chino High School. And now we transitioned over to Ayala Park, and I can say that Chino Nationals always had a phenomenal field and phenomenal facilities compared to what Chino American had. And I think with the improvements that we've done lately and the improvements that we're going to continue to do, I think it's going to give us something that's equivalent to what they have there. And I think it's important for the kids, especially to get them interested in playing baseball again, because our enrollment is so low. I also wanted to say that the dugouts are going to be a big improvement. We were all there during opening day, and it was hot, and the sun was on us, and I can just imagine we were only there for probably 30 minutes,
Yeah.
and the kids having to sit in there for the whole game. It probably gets a little unbearable. So I appreciate, Linda, that you guys addressed the dugouts. It's very important, and also for getting a t-ball field, because I know I got a couple little guys that are second generation coming through, and they're going to be utilizing that. So thanks again for a well thought of plan, and thank you again to all city staff.
Okay. Any other comments, Mr.
Yeah.
Magro?
Again, having played and grown up in Briones Field over there, and well, I was there before it was Briones Field, but subsequently became that. But I'm so happy that the staff have looked out for the residents' interest in terms, I know this has been ongoing. I know ADA issues are a big driver of that, trying to ensure that we get that in place, and subsequent to that too, we're gonna have some more coming. I sympathize with the skaters. I see them out there. They're always there. But they have a nice park over there too that we haven't left them out of the mix of that. But I agree with the mayor. If there's any way that we can put up things that are liability legally, and we can do something, then that'd be nice to look at. I think I appreciate that you're looking at the Briones aspect of it and what we're going to do there to honor the guy. He was a special individual that, having put in years in myself with the youth, he outpaced me completely. So it's not where you're situated at or where that park is, but it's the legacy of the man that's there, and making sure that no one forgets who it was that put in their efforts, and to make sure the kids that grew up here had a place to go and play, and coaches. And I agree with Mark, some of the attendance or participation is down, but that can go in waves, and if you build it, they will come, I guess they say, right? And I appreciate that we have national, and believe me, I appreciate all the volunteers that put in the work, because they're really the ones that are building those fields and maintaining those fields. And I know our park staff go out there, and it's so much nicer whenever they don't have to do as much work as they necessarily have to. And it's nice to see we have a good national league and we have a good American league. And I do appreciate that coming from the staff primarily. Thanks so much. That's all.
Okay. Any last remarks from council members? Mr. Rodriguez, any comments?
No comments.
Okay. Then I would entertain a motion in a second.
I'll move it.
Second.
Mayor Pro Tem, or doggone it, Councilman Lucio makes the motion. Mayor Pro Tem Howie is the second. Roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Lucio?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Howie?
Yes.
Councilmember Hargrove?
Yes.
Councilmember Rodriguez?
Yes.
Mayor Ulloa?
Yes, item passes unanimously. That brings us to mayor and council reports. So for the last 2 weeks, it was relatively quiet. On Thursday, July 9th, I, through a Zoom meeting, attended a Water Master Appropriative Pool, and also the Chamber Zoom meeting that Zeb was talking about earlier. On Tuesday, July 14th, I attended once again through Zoom the Appropriative Pool Confidential session. Then on Wednesday, the 15th, was the Major Projects meeting. On Thursday, the 16th, was Water Master Advisory Committee meeting and the Recharge Improvements Projects Committee. So it was relatively kind of a quiet time for a change. Mayor Pro Tem Howie.
Yeah, I had a Water Facilities Authority meeting last week. That was Zoom operated. I think almost all of our meetings this year seem like they're all done virtual.
Yeah.
So we don't get to really see it. Well, you get to see them on the screen, but that's about it. But that was a good meeting last week. And then as Zeb Wellborn from the Chamber was talking about how businesses are being helped, I got a little story about our Chino YMCA. They have, they can't really have exercise classes and hold a lot of things indoors. So they were able to put a couple of shades out on the basketball court and get the exercise classes going again for seniors and for all the different classes that they do. and they put out a request and we had a number of Chino individuals step up and donate money so that they could completely fill the whole basketball court with shades, so that they can get the classes with social distancing can be well accommodated. So I want to hats off to those people that step up to help out the Y, which is always a good thing. So that's it. That's all I got.
Okay. Councilman Hargrove.
Okay, on July 8th, I attended the Chino PD swearing-in ceremony with Pro Tem Howie. Always nice to go to those events. I know we haven't had them in a while, and it's nice to see the families there and how proud they are of not just the police officers that are promoting or have been accepted here at the Chino Police, but the dispatchers, the crime analysts, all of them. I'm glad that we honor them all, and it's such an honor to be there and watch that ceremony happen. On 7/16, Chino Valley Unified School District had its meeting, a liaison there. They're still doing virtual meetings, so I don't know if they're actually doing them and like we are, but just doing a virtual, but I just get on the virtual. The big moment that night was whether they're going to go back to in session with classes. They elected that they'll start, I believe it's August 10th, they're going to go to social distancing learning, so it'll be all online. They'll take 3 weeks to August 31st to look at it again. However, since the governor has come out that his plans are that you can't do any in-class sessions unless you go at least 2 weeks on the no watch list or whatever his list is. I'll hold my words down and keep from commenting on any of that stuff, but that's their battle. So it's going to be distance learning, at least for the short term, until we can get into at least the fall. So I think they'll reevaluate after we get further along. It's an ever-changing daily thing. So I've said it before, and I hate to have their battles with that. And then 7/20, I had the Chamber Board of Directors. We also do that virtually. There's now about 15 members on the board. Some really quality people on the board now. I don't know if Zeb ran off, but I'm glad that he comes here to give you the report so I don't have to deal with the hour and a half that we talk about. They are switching over to Gigi, well, I used to know Gigi Fix, but Gigi is now taking over as the president, I guess it is, chairperson. I guess Zeb's the president, and then she's the chairperson now, and they have a new board of secretaries. So Art Bennett has stepped down from that. It's a one-year term. And then we have, I think Christina Gagne will be on the elect, so to be next year. Really interesting stuff. Zeb wouldn't mention it, but I will, that he was honored the last meeting. You know, he's doing such a terrific job. Just innovative guy and just so thoughtful of what's going on at the chamber. We couldn't have a better person on that chamber running the place as it stands now. I think he probably wouldn't admit it, but short term is further than long term is he probably has some high ambitions to do some other stuff, and you know, because he's a quality guy and ambitious. So we'll see how that goes.
That was fun, though, honoring him, and he was so surprised.
It was.
Running to tears. He was actually choked up.
Yeah, something he probably didn't expect at all, but is more than well deserving of that. And then on 7/20 that night, last night, was the Planning Commission meeting. I don't know if they're virtual. I couldn't get on. Should have probably just showed up here. Long meeting. So there's a lot of work going on at the city with the Planning Commission. They had probably one of the longest agendas I've seen in a while. So that's good, right? I mean, that means things are happening. People are still building. People are wanting to build.
Yeah.
So that's good. That concludes my comments, other than I know the family left, but my heart goes out to that soldier that lost his life and under some unusual circumstances. Hopefully get to the bottom of that and bring justice to his family. And and then also to the other dedication and to the closing of tonight's meeting for the individual that was here in the city for so long and served the community. But that concludes my comments.
Okay, thank you. Councilman Lucio.
Yes, I attended, through Zoom meeting, the Chino Valley Fire District meeting on July 8th. And the comments are going to be short. I just want to also recognize Lieutenant Rodney Lombardo. He's going to be retiring on the 30th, I believe, is his walk will take place then. And I just want to recognize him for the years of service that he gave to the community of Chino. And to close, my heart goes out to the family of Enrique Roman Martinez. There's nothing I can do or say that would make up for their loss, but I'm truly sorry for their loss. And whatever the city can do, I really hope that we explore that. And if we need to send some letters or do something to get, I know that Congresswoman Norma Torres has already reached out to the Army and requested more of an investigation to occur. But obviously, when we send our young kids out to fight for our country, we don't expect something like this to happen to them. So, in closing, I just want to recognize him for his willingness to fight for our country, and it's tragic that ultimately his life was taken before it was time.
Councilman Rodriguez.
Divide that has been a long topic of interest to the League of California Cities Latino Caucus. And in the discussion, it's found that COVID-19 has magnified the inequities that existed prior to the crisis for many Californians. The vast majority of these affected Californians are low income, people of color, rural, and or undocumented. Without computers and internet access, they are denied access to learning, telemedicine, critical safety information, and much more. Also, there was a discussion on Senate Bill 1130, and there's a push in the Senate bill to collaborate with the feds to add more wide broadband for the entire state of California. In the discussion, they mentioned an organization by the name of everyoneon.org, which is a movement towards citywide broadband adoption. And it was very interesting because the organization spoke about Money Think, and it's a movement of young people working to restore the economic health of the United States through financial education. What they emphasized was when collaborating with multiple partners, organizations to deliver home access solutions, clear and defined roles and responsibilities, this allows for more effective and successful program and implementations. Zeb Wellborn mentioned the two pandemic, which is going to be this Thursday. I'm one of the panelists, and that starts at 11:30. Also in history today, we celebrated the birthday of Ernest Hemingway and the first battle of the Civil War, Manassas in Virginia. And yesterday was the 51st anniversary of man landing on the moon. And I'd like to end with a thought on John Lewis, civil rights leader who died this Friday. He was a beacon for justice for everyone in the United States. That concludes my report.
Okay, thank you very much. City Manager Ballantyne, do you have any report this evening?
I don't. The only thing I would add is I know that the Chino Police Officers Association has reached out to the Martinez family and are in continuous contact. So I appreciate their efforts to be kind of our liaison between the city and this family and the tragedy that has occurred. So thanks to the POA. That concludes my report.
City Attorney Galante. Okay. Chief Police Simmons.
Thank you, Mayor and members of the council. I first want to thank you guys for recognizing Pam Doller as a volunteer at the Chino Police Department. We miss her tremendously, and we're grieving with her family. Along with all the work she did in our Detective Bureau, helping with missing persons, she also baked some of the most incredible baked goods and would bring those in regularly, which we all appreciated. So we miss her tremendously. Also, for your support for Russ Miller. I hope you enjoy the commemorative badge. We're wearing these proudly, and it's a way that we can keep his memory alive. And it's pretty amazing, 20 years later, how many people we still have show up for the Run for Russ, and we want to keep that going. So thank you for that. And then lastly, this year, for the first year, we'll be participating in the Pink Patch Project, which is to benefit breast cancer. And we'll be doing this during the month of October, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And so what we're doing is selling these new pink patches for a fundraiser, $10 each. And people can purchase those as a collector's item. Departments do this all around the United States. And then all the money will be donating to the Loma Linda University Center. So we're going to start advertising it this week in preparation for October. And then October, officers, if they want to, can volunteer to change their patches over and actually wear these patches. I want to thank Greg Electric, who gave us the money to purchase these up front. So no city funds were used to purchase this. So I made the first donation on behalf of all of you, and so I wanted to give you guys a patch as well.
Thank you very much. Now, who would the public contact if they want to purchase one of these?
They can go to the Chino Police Department and right at our front counter and can get them right there.
Okay.
And we'll have more information on our website and social media.
Okay, they're pretty. Thank you very much. And who do we have here from the fire department? Aha.
Good evening.
Hi,
Madam
Scott.
Mayor, council members. Just a few things I thought I'd pass along. We have 2 firefighters that are currently up on the mineral fire. It's over 28,000 acre fire that's threatening the community just east of Fresno. So they're both up there as part of the state mutual aid system. They are up there as line paramedics. Also want to let the council and members of the public know that we are currently have an open application period. We're hiring lateral firefighters as well as new firefighter. All the requirements and all the information is on our website. If you go there and you go under career opportunities, you'll be able to find that information. So the closing date for that is August 21st, and we currently have openings, and we're seeking individuals to fill those spots. That's all I have for tonight, unless you have any questions.
Okay. Do you usually get as many applicants as you used to?
So the Chino Valley Fire District, one of the qualifications are you have to have the academy as well as firefighter paramedic, paramedic. So we typically have a little bit of a smaller, because we do limit it to those 2 qualifications. But I would tell you, as a whole, I've been with the fire department here for 29 years. Right now is about the best time if you ever want to be a firefighter. There's a lot of opportunity out there, and a lot more than there has been in the past. So if something you're interested in, certainly reach out to the fire district and our website. We can certainly provide questions or any other assistance if you're interested in being a firefighter. How about you, Madam Mayor?
Yeah, right. Honey, I'm way too old for that.
So am I.
So are you now too, huh?
That's great.
Oh, gosh. Well, good luck, and I hope you get some really good applicants.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Good
you
evening.
very much. Okay, with that, we will be once again adjourning in memory of Pamela Delar and Doler and Specialist Enrique Roman Martinez. The next regular meeting of the City Council is scheduled for September 1st, as our October 4th and August 4th and August 18th meetings have been canceled. So the next regular meeting will be held on Tuesday, September 1st, 2020, 7 o'clock in these council chambers with closed session starting at 6 if necessary. With that, we are adjourned.